we are going to cover the best places to live in the greater Phoenix, Arizona area here in 2023 on this video. You do not want to miss this. Stay tuned. If you wouldn't mind, just go ahead and subscribe, smash that button, subscribe, like us, and ring that notification bell and get us out to more and more people who could benefit from hearing this amazing news about our wonderful city of Phoenix, Arizona. All right, guys, we're going to start with 10 places that we feel are the best places to live in Phoenix, Arizona for 2023. This is an amazing year. There'll be a lot of growth in Phoenix this year, and we'll see what happens with the housing market along the way. And not only will we cover the 10 best places that you will recognize by city name or suburb name, we're going to give you actually 6 additional places that aren't necessarily known as a city or a suburb, but are designated places throughout the Phoenix area that are amazing places to live. So stay tuned to the end of the video for that. That is going to be a good one because most people don't talk about little places and niche areas within the Phoenix area. They talk about just cities. So we're going to cover that at the end. Now, in terms of what are the best places, it really depends on what you are looking for. Are you looking for a nightlife entertainment district or area? Are you looking for a place to raise a family? Are you retired? Do you love golf? All these things matter when determining this list. So overall, we're going to try to play both sides of that fence the best we can and give you the top 10 places that we think will hit the majority of those aspects for 2023. But let's hit the top 10 cities that we believe are the 10 plus places leading into 2023 that will be a phenomenal place to live. Now, I will say this, I'm biased to Phoenix. I think there are really not very many bad places to live in the entire Phoenix metro area, otherwise known as Maricopa County. However, we're going to try our best to give you the best 10 places of cities in Phoenix to live in 2023. Okay, coming in at number 10, we have Peoria, guys. Peoria is located in the northwest valley of the Phoenix area. It's an amazing suburb, and it's up and coming. It is getting better and better literally every year with infrastructure and development. Schools are getting better, and of course, with that, housing prices are starting to increase a little bit. The median housing price in Peoria currently stands at $505,000, and the population is around 195,000 people in Peoria. And as you can see on the map, the Peoria area is very kind of long and narrow and does have a huge landmass towards the top of the city boundaries. But Peoria is one of those places that is well located. A lot of things are happening in the area. And if you're looking to make a move, Peoria would be a great place to consider for 2023. All right, next on the list, we have Mesa, guys. Mesa, Arizona is a very good suburb. It's actually one of the largest suburbs or cities in the entire Phoenix area. In fact, it is number 2 by population, right behind the city of Phoenix. So when people talk about the Phoenix area, a lot of times they'll say Phoenix/Mesa because Mesa is a enormous suburb in the Phoenix area. Mesa and the east side has a lot of development going on. You have the East Mark area where a lot of housing development is going on. I mean, it's so big, they had to put schools in there just for this community, guys. That's how big East Mark is on the far east side of the valley. Now, also in the east side of Mesa, you have the technology corridor that they're building out currently, which is phenomenal. You have so much industrial buildings going up, data centers, things of that nature, suppliers for all the industry coming to Phoenix being built out in the East Mesa area. And of course, the residential area of Mesa that is the nicest is in East Mesa as well. That's where all the money's going. And you have some really cool views out there with the mountains, neighborhoods like Los Sendas and Red Mountain Ranch and East Mark, and the list goes on. And they'll be developing more and more as time goes on in Mesa. So Mesa is definitely one to consider for 2023. All right, number 8 on our list is Queen Creek. Now, Queen Creek probably isn't one of those suburbs that maybe makes the list very often, but we're putting it at number 8 because it is a great up and coming suburb that most people want to live. It is newer, and a lot of commercial development is newer, and so people love having new construction, and it's still being built out right now, even as we speak in Queen Creek. Now, the downside of Queen Creek is that there are no highways and interstates running through the suburbs. So from a grid standpoint, you can get around pretty easy when you're in Queen Creek, but if you need to make it to the airport or downtown Phoenix, or somewhere where you have to drive a lot for maybe work or whatever it may be, Queen Creek is going to be a little challenging for you because of the lack of, interstate or highway infrastructure running through Queen Creek. And there's a lot of population going down there. So especially in the seasonal time of the year where it's winter and it's nice down here, traffic can be a little congested. But it's getting better, just still no highways running through there in the near future at this time. So something to be aware of when you're looking at Queen Creek right now. Currently, the median home price is $565 in Queen Creek. You have a vast array of places, but again, it depends on what you're looking for, right? If you want that space, Queen Creek is going to be good because you have a lot of properties that have land. Now you have a lot of tract homes too with smaller lots, but you also have the multi-million-dollar custom homes in like the Pecans, for example, in the Queen Creek area. So I would definitely consider Queen Creek on the list for 2023. All right, coming in number 7 is Paradise Valley. Now, guys, Paradise Valley could be number 1 because it is literally the Valley of Paradise, but it's extremely expensive. Now, it's not very big. It sits actually between Camelback and Mummy Mountain to the north. And so between those two iconic mountains, Camelback right here on our shirt, you have the Valley of Paradise. Lincoln Boulevard, Lincoln Drive runs right through the middle of that Paradise Valley area. It's not very big. You're looking at a population of around 13,000 people. It's actually called a town, the town of Paradise Valley, and it has the most expensive real estate in the entire valley, where the median sales price currently is $3.7 million for a piece of property in Paradise Valley. But it is phenomenal if you have some money and you're looking for just views, space, big lots, and luxurious living. PV is the place to consider. Number 6 on the list is going to be Cave Creek. Guys, Cave Creek is a phenomenal place. Look at the map here. You can see up in the northeast part of the valley. It currently has a median sales price of $734,000, and it is also known as the town of Cave Creek. Now, Cave Creek is interesting because, as you saw on the map, it is actually a pretty large land area, but the southern part is more of a tract home style community. And as you go north, you really get into the cool part of Cave Creek because you have the old Western saloons and bars and rodeos, stadium seating. You can go there, have dinner, maybe a few drinks, and you can watch a rodeo. You can actually participate in a rodeo at some of those places there and ride a bull yourselves. You may have to sign a disclaimer, just saying. But it is a phenomenal place. A lot of Western type shops and areas that run through the main road, Cave Creek Road there, of the town of Cave Creek. So Cave Creek, guys, a great place to live, a lot of space, a lot of views, bigger lots, horse privileges in many of the places, and just something you should really consider as true Arizona living. Okay, coming in number 5 is the city of Buckeye, guys. Buckeye is actually the second largest city in the Phoenix area when it comes to land mass and square miles. It is huge. Most of Buckeye sits behind on the west side of the White Tank Mountains, but you have some of that obviously is on the south side and the front side as well. But Buckeye is a up and coming place that you need to consider if you're going to move to the Phoenix area in 2023. The growth is going to be exponential in Buckeye, especially in the next 5 to 10 years, with a lot of things coming to Buckeye. Now, because of the land size and frankly, the land being cheaper, a lot of companies bringing in industry and bringing parts of their company down to Phoenix are paying attention. For example, Corplex Lithium Battery, they just actually purchased 214 acres in Buckeye, and they're actually going to be bringing 3,000 jobs to their battery manufacturing plant as that gets developed over the next several years. You also have Terraballis. Terraballis is a huge master plan community that's in the works to be developed over the next 50 years. That's right, 50 years by the Howard Hughes Development Corporation. Why? Because they are putting in 100,000 homes. One master plan community that's going to house approximately 300,000 residents, and again, be developed in the next 50 years. You also have Verrado Marketplace. That is a big development that's going to be happening in the Verrado area with 50 to 60 shops, theaters, restaurants, other venues. That's going to be huge with construction starting later in 2023. Guys, Verrado is just a phenomenal master plan community. I can't have enough positive things to say about it. We did a video on Verrado as well. You have really niche architecture throughout Verrado. It sits at the base of the White Tank Mountains. A lot of views. It's an amazing place to live and call home. You also have the Sundance area that exits off of Miller and Watson Road that have just exploded over the last several years with commercial infrastructure and, of course, plenty of homes and golf. So Buckeye is a force to be reckoned with in the West Valley over the next several years, and especially in 2023. Okay, coming at number 4 is the city of Gilbert, guys. Gilbert is one of those suburbs that's just an all-American city, right? I mean, there's nothing really negative you can say about Gilbert. The downtown area is coming alive, and it is phenomenal. Now, it's small, but the quality of restaurants there and just things to do for entertainment in that small little niche area of downtown Gilbert are amazing. And it's all newer stuff for the most part. You also have homes that are newer, obviously not a year or two, but you do have some new construction as well in Gilbert, but primarily in the last 15 years. It is a grid system. It's easy to get around, and it's well located right off the Loop 202, the Santan 202 freeway. So Gilbert is one of those all-American cities. It's hard to say anything negative about it. It's clean. It's refreshing. It's one of those places that you would love to call home in 2023. So consider Gilbert for that as number 4. Coming number 3 is Scottsdale, guys. Scottsdale has to make the list. Everyone loves Scottsdale. Scottsdale has so many things that Scottsdale has put on the map with the Waste Management Phoenix Open that's played every single year in February, the same weekend as the Super Bowl, and we had the Super Bowl here in Phoenix this past year. Now, I know the game was actually played in the city of Phoenix, and the game was actually played in the stadium, which is located in the city of Glendale, where the Cardinals play. However, Scottsdale is the city that hosted but the majority of all the parties and entertainment. In Old Town Scottsdale, where you had the ESPN set up and all the parties throughout Talking Stick and North Scottsdale and South Scottsdale. It was put on the map by the golf tournament and the Super Bowl this past year, most recently. And it's been on the map for a long time as the golf mecca of the world. So you have world-class dining, entertainment, nightlife, and of course, like I mentioned, golf, hiking, biking, outdoor activities. The list goes on and on for Scottsdale. And of course, housing. Housing is not cheap. Now you're looking at a median housing price of $740. So again, not cheap to live in Scottsdale. The second most expensive real estate behind Paradise Valley. But again, you're paying for the convenience of being in the epicenter of everything that's going on in Phoenix, because most of it's happening right there in Scottsdale. And at the same time, there's kind of a unique flair about Scottsdale because it has been known or rated as America's most livable city, as well as the westernmost town, if that makes any sense. It does. You go to Old Town Scottsdale and walk around the little boutique shops. Pretty cool, cowboy feel. So check out Scottsdale for 2023, guys. And that's why it makes number 3 on our list. All right, number 2 on our list is Chandler, guys. And why is Chandler number 2? Because it is the Silicon Valley of the desert. It's the headquarters of Intel. Intel has invested billions, multiple billions in their headquarters there and their plants right there in the Chandler area. It's just a phenomenal, again, all-American city, suburb in the East Valley that is extremely well located. You're right next to pretty much everything. You have the 101, you have the 202, you have the 10, actually fairly close by to get to all those interstates that can get you where you want to go around the entire city of Phoenix. And again, just an amazing, boutique, unique downtown area for Chandler as well. So it is hard to deny Chandler as a city that you should not consider. And I would highly recommend just the opposite. And that's why it makes number 2 on our list. So check out Chandler. All right, number 1 on our list, drumroll, is going to be North Phoenix. Okay, so why North Phoenix? That doesn't sound like a suburb. It's not. It's an area, but we're going to count it as one of the best places and the number 1 best place to call home and consider calling home in 2023 because of these reasons. Now, let's talk about the geographical area. The area we're talking about are the 3 main zip codes of 85083, 85085, and 85086. They run right up the North I-17 corridor, and as you can see on the map, that's the area we're referring to in the North Phoenix area. The main reason why? TSMC. Okay, TSMC, the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation, is putting a ginormous, is that a word? Ginormous plant in North Phoenix right off the I-17, and it is huge, guys. They are sucking up all the concrete in the entire Phoenix area for the most part, and this plant is enormous. So semiconductors, chips, that's the big thing right now. And Phoenix not only has Intel headquartered in Chandler, but now you have TSMC. It's going to be in North Phoenix, and that is set to start and going into operation here very soon. And so all the real estate around there is going to go increase in value because the amount of high-paying jobs there are incredible. And they're going to continue to investing in phase 2, and all the suppliers that are building plants along the 303 loop as well, which is another interstate, is enormous, guys. So the job opportunity, the high-paying job opportunity for that area of town is going to be huge, which is going to require more real estate, nice real estate, and people who have the ability to afford nice real estate. And so the values of homes in that area, places like Norterra, Dynamite Mountain Ranch, Stetson Valley, these places are going to explode, in my opinion, over the next several years in home values. So if you have the chance to get in now in 2023, not a bad place to consider. You also have the convenience of location because you're off the I-17 in this area. And so you can get the north part of the state in Flagstaff, Sedona, Prescott very easily. And that is something a lot of Phoenicians like to do because it gets hot in the summertime. So a lot of people like to get out for a weekend if they can and experience some cooler air, and vice versa. This time of year, it's beautiful when it's winter, but you may want to go skiing or enjoy something cool, snow or whatever it may be. You can get to Flagstaff really quick and you can enjoy all of that as well. So the dynamics of that area is really popular, and that's why TSMC agreed and decided to put their plant where they did. So consider North Phoenix as your number 1 place to live for 2023. But wait, there's more. Why? Because we have 6 places, not cities or not suburbs, 6 places that you want to know about that you may want to call home as more of a niche or specifics. So we're gonna get into that right now. Number 6 is gonna be Ahwatukee. Ahwatukee. If you can spell it right, I'll give you a big hug when you come down and buy a house. No, I'm just kidding. But Ahwatukee is awesome, guys. It is actually a Phoenix address, and it's located on the south side of South Mountain in the South Valley. A lot of souths there. But there's a lot to do in Ahwatukee, and it's beautiful because it's tucked away, so a lot of people can't get to it. And so it's newer, it's clean, and great schools. And a lot of people love to live down in Ahwatukee because it's just more private and secluded. Now, they do have the 202 loop that connected with the I-10 through the west side of Ahwatukee a year or two ago. So that's helped open up the convenience aspect, but it's still tucked away because a lot of people don't travel that loop on the west side that connects up to the I-10. As a main thoroughfare for the most part compared to the other interstates in the valley. So Ahwatukee is a phenomenal place, a lot of hiking, a lot of biking. The trails in South Mountain are phenomenal. You have a lot of views. And of course, don't forget Rustler's Roost, which is the old Western style restaurant with amazing views while you sit there and have an old West, meal at that restaurant. So Rustler's Roost, don't count that one out when talking about Ahwatukee. Number 5 are going to be the historic districts. Where are those? There are 36 of them, guys, and they're all located right in the same area of downtown and uptown Phoenix. So you're looking at areas from Grant Street on the south side up to about Indian School Road on the north side, from 19th Avenue on the west to about 16th Street on the east. In that little pocket of real estate, which is not really that big in the downtown area of Phoenix, you have 36 historic districts of homes that were built in the 10s, the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 1900s we're talking about here, that are phenomenal. Now, Phoenix is relatively a newer city compared to most of the places like on the East Coast, especially the United States. But those historic districts, homes are places that you will want to go if you want an older style home. A lot of Tudor architecture, Spanish colonial, bungalow style homes, and just really cool, awesome, quaint, unique homes that if you want style and uniqueness of your property and something kind of old with character, that's the place you want to go. Let us know. We'd be happy to tell you more about all 36 of them by shooting us a call. You can give us a call or email us at any point, guys. Contact information is just below, and we'll hit that here in just a second, but we have 4 more to go. And number 4 is the Rio Verde foothills. Where is that? Well, if you like space, you like that Western style living, and maybe you want some horses, maybe you have ATVs, a lot of toys, maybe you have an RV, maybe you have stuff that you don't want to have to worry about an HOA, the Rio Verde foothills are for you. Now, recently they've received a lot of press because of the water issue in the Rio Verde foothills. For a long time, the city of Scottsdale has provided their water source, okay? And their water source primarily for a lot of the homes that are not on wells are hauled water. That's right. So city of Scottsdale would actually provide the water, and trucks would deliver to a lot of these homes a big supply of water and put them in their tanks, and that would last for a while, right, as they use the water throughout their home. And then, of course, on a scheduled routine, here comes a truck and they fill it up with more water. But you have space, you have raw desert, you have basically whatever it is that you want to do with your property, you can do out in the Rio Verde foothills. So for unique space and unique area, that's something you should consider if that's the kind of Arizona living you're looking to do. And also, spoiler alert, City of Scottsdale has just agreed to provide water for 2 more years to allow the Rio Verde foothills to come up with their own water district or water solution over the next 2 years, which they are working on doing at this time. Number 3 is Old Town Scottsdale. Now, you probably have heard of this one. This one might be actually not so discreet because Old Town Scottsdale is literally the epicenter for everything entertainment when it comes to the Phoenix area and upscale vertical luxury condo living. The Optima Camelback, the Scottsdale waterfront, just 2 phenomenal areas. You have resorts down there. Caesars Republic is building a huge glass hotel. You have the W that's modern and just right there in Old Town, and of course all the clubs and nightlife, and you have the restaurants. So Old Town Scottsdale, guys, and you have houses around there too as well. You can walk right to all this stuff from your house. So that's awesome. A lot of VRBOs for people looking to come down and experience the entertainment and all that Scottsdale has to offer. But Old Town Scottsdale is a phenomenal place if you like, especially upscale luxury condo living. So consider that as well. Okay, number 2 is Arcadia. Where is that? Well, Arcadia, I have a whole video on that because we won't break it all down. There's Arcadia proper, there's Arcadia Light, and there's Lower Arcadia. Arcadia is the area that sits just to the west of Old Town Scottsdale and just to the south of Camelback Mountain. So you have a lot of views. You're the north or northeast, so to speak, of Sky Harbor Airport. So you're really in the epicenter of everything from a convenience standpoint. So you can get to anything you want to do really quickly. Amazing schools right in that area also. and you just have a awesome location. It's all about convenience. You have a lot of larger lots in Arcadia proper, especially. And again, did I mention views? Yeah, views as well. So Arcadia is a phenomenal place to live. A lot of mom and pop shops for coffee shops, lunch spots, dinner, so you can walk, kind of that neighborhood feel. A lot of people in Arcadia ride fat scooters around and bicycles for the neighbors, and a lot of hanging out in the front yards, which doesn't happen a lot in America these days. Most of it's in the backyards, which is still cool too, but the front yard hangout spot in Arcadia, because everyone's like friendly and neighborhood-ish in Arcadia. So Arcadia makes our number 2 list that you want to consider if you're living in Phoenix area. And number 1 on the list, maybe this is one that you haven't ever heard of. This is Ocotillo. Where is that? I'm glad you asked. Check out the map. You can see it's just here on the south side of the Chandler area. And what makes Ocotillo so special are a few things. First of all, it has a 27-hole golf course with a lot of finger lakes that run through the course and the entire community of Ocotillo. It's a master plan community, and it has 3 main lakes, but a lot of these finger lakes that just make it really, really cool and unique. And on top of it, it has a lot of resort-style apartments and condos. So you can not get necessarily the quality of the Old Town Scottsdale luxurious upscale condo living, but you do get that luxurious upscale condo living without the magnitude of living in Old Town Scottsdale. So if you want something a little more private, a little less busy, but still has some really cool luxurious living feel to it, Ocotillo is the place you want to go. And if you want to have a house, there's plenty of houses in Ocotillo as well, and a lot of luxury homes too. So again, it's just off the beaten path a little bit because you're not in the epicenter of everything like you are in Old Town Scottsdale, but you're still well located and still can get to everything easy just south of the 202 loop. And of course, what makes Ocotillo really special is that if you are looking for high-paying employment, guess what's right next door to Ocotillo? The headquarters of Intel. So there you go, guys. Ocotillo is awesome, and that makes our entire list of the 10 best places, i.e. suburb cities, and the six best little places, areas, niches that you may not know of or ever heard about in the Phoenix area that you want to check out. Give us a call, guys, 480-660-5974 with any questions. You can always email us at info@cookandassociatesaz.com, or check us out right here at our Instagram page at Kelly Cook Homes, where we're putting out daily content for your personal enjoyment and hopefully education. Thanks, guys, as always, and don't forget to call.